the shakedown.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Attacking Third on It's a Wrap Sports Network. I am Steve. You can find me at SoldierSteve247 on X. And how's everybody doing tonight? It is September 11th. So before we start anything, just want to give thoughts and prayers again. The 24th anniversary. I hate calling it an anniversary of that tragic day. So thoughts and prayers to all the families affected that day. A lot of people were. So, but we are here tonight, hopefully, to give 30 minutes of getting away from those sort of things, right? And at It's a Wrap Sports Network, we got lots of different shows to get your mind off of other things. And speaking of some of those shows, we got Bird's Blast with not Kyle Quinn this week. It'll be with Big Al and Matty B, and it's going to be following the final, possibly, tonight at 10-ish. And speaking of the Fighting's final, it'll be Matty B wrapping up this Mets series. I think the Phillies just took the lead, right? And then Sunday, while we talking Birds the night, we'll be able to post-game show, talk about the game that was Super Bowl rematch, Eagles versus Chiefs. Birds fly by. I'll be on that. And then some other football stuff. Big Mike, Happy Valley Huddle, Penn State post-game show every Saturday after the Penn State game. And then every Wednesday, props, locks, and parlays with Mike. Friday at night, 10:30, the wraparound with Pat Bernard, Mike, Big Al sometimes filling in, wrapping up the week that was with Philadelphia sports. So make sure you guys are tuning into that. And then those three guys, Pat, Mike, and Al, they conclude the week and bring you into NFL for PNM and the AM. So make sure you guys are tuning into all that. And then, of course, the trademark show, The Final Word with Matty B, Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. or after the Fighting's final. There won't be one. There will not be one tonight. Got some other stuff. They got some other stuff. Too many shows tonight. And then newest show to the network, Steel City, Sunday, pre and post game Pittsburgh Steelers shows. So if you didn't grow up a Eagles fan and you went across the state and you're a Steelers fan, we got you covered over here at It's a Wrap Sports. And of course, tonight we're going to be talking the Attacking Third every Thursday at 9 p.m. So with that said, let's get into it. Got some comments coming in here. Joe, our main man, our number one Union fan coming on. What's going on, my man? It's Mike tonight on the Phillies fight. Okay, so Mike's on it. All right, there we go. Geez, look at you, Joe. You're on it. And then Ricky, what's going on? Ricky, what is going on? So let's get into the Union bye week, essentially. For a lot of players, there were some players on international duties, playing for their countries in World Cup qualifiers, which tickets for the World Cup for next year just went on pre-sale. I heard it was a mess on the website. People try and get on. But most of the Union were away on bye, family, getting rested up, getting healthy. But there were a handful of players, key contributors, starters for the season that were representing their country. Frankie Westfield, he was with the under-20 United States youth national team. He started for them, got some run against Morocco. Kevin Sullivan for the under-17 United States youth national team started and scored. So good for him to be able to get that run. Definitely hasn't gotten the amount of time that I thought he would have gotten this year, but I think the way that the season has gone, that's probably why. Um, and you had Ty. Ty was away for Israel. He started and scored against dang, who they have it, wrote it down here. Moldova. So of course we know what Ty is to this team, what he's able to do. So it's good for him to be able to keep the legs going, getting some run. And I know in previous times he didn't get that much run with his country. You know, he was called up, but he didn't get that much playing time, and now he's fitting into a role over there. And then Danley, he started and played the whole match for Haiti. So some guys, some key contributors, definitely on the Union's bye, were able to get some run, keep them legs moving. Right, you got guys. Yesterday, was it yesterday or today? I can't remember when Carnell's press conference was. Might have been yesterday. But I know he said Andre Blake actually got some training. He's trained all week, and yeah, it was yesterday. And he said he had the most intense training that he's had since he's been injured. So who knows? Who knows what he's able to do, or if he's able to contribute and be in the lineup, be available even as a bench role this Saturday night against Vancouver. Big match this Saturday night on the road. Kind of a weird road trip, right? Because you had the match against Cincinnati, then you had this bye week. Now you've gotten this time in between. Now you're on the road against Vancouver. Instantly, then go Tuesday on the road against Nashville in the semifinals of U.S. Open Cup. So much needed rest at a time where, you know, you look back on this Union season, this schedule, obviously May, the big month, 9 matches, 4 matches on the road, 3 at home. Then you throw in U.S. Open Cup match in there as well, and they go unbeaten in that stretch. You look at the obstacles that they've been able to overcome from last season to this season, what they've done, taking back over that fortress at Subaru Park. Last year, a lot of teams came in and they didn't fear the Union back at home. Now, this season, their record at home is, let me pull it up. I had it up here. Their record at home, 10-1-4 this season. Away, 7-5-2. And you look at their last away match against Cincinnati, what they were able to do, playing a man down. Incredible. What is going on? Alexco, what's going on? Hello. How can I be a better right back? Be like Nathan Harriel. That's how you can be better. No. Are you asking how the Union can be better at right back? I don't know. I think Harriel's doing a good job up there. Hey, Steve. Mickey Delaney. What's going on, Mickey? Thanks for tuning in. Joe, does Kai Wagner lead the MLS in assists? Joe, no, he does not. And you know what, Joe? That is perfect. What a perfect segue for what I was gonna want, what I wanted to talk briefly about tonight. right? We were just talking about the obstacles that the Union, some of the obstacles that they've overcome this season, based on last season, and so many new pieces, new head coach, adversities, I should say, not obstacles, adversities that they've overcome, right? Uh, Not being able to beat the teams, but being able to draw the teams at home, like Columbus, Miami, overcoming some deficits like against Galaxy, having that comeback win at home on a Wednesday night versus them after a disappointing performance against Columbus. That's the Saturday just before. Um, then you had their trademark win, or their key win, I would say, August 30th, last week, 2 weeks ago, against Cincinnati, where they were finally able to beat that elite team. And I think it's how they beat them, right? 1-0, 1-0 win, down a man for 30 minutes. And it was the defense. It's this Carnell press that this Union squad, who defensively have been shifted around all throughout the season, right? You've had Bedoya play center back. You've had Harriel play multiple positions. You didn't know what you were going to have after Elliott left and signed with Chicago. You thought you were going to have something in Glavinovich, and for the first few matches he did. He looked very suitable, and then he gets injured. He's gone for the season. Makana stepped up, huge. It was like a big signing, essentially. What he was able to bring, playing up from the Union too. He's been incredible. Frankie Westfield, what he's been able to do, started the first 6-7 matches. But I think, and this goes back to your question here about does Kai lead the league in assists? He doesn't. He's tied for 9th. He did for a while. He's got 10 on the season. He's tied for 9th. But it's the other things that he does. He thrives in this Carnell press, right? He leads the league in free kicks at 544. And those free kicks come from the pressure and the press that the Union are able to put on and cause in midfield and disrupt teams in the way that they want to play in their attack. The press, it causes mistakes, which then the Union are able to, catch the other teams off guard, catch them out of position, and they lead to fouls. They lead to then what I just said. Kai leading the league at free kicks at 544, and this is what really stands out to me is second place is at 359. Kai's at 544 free kicks, and second place is at 359. I think that also goes to show how much the Union trust him. Kai leads the league in successful crosses at 77. That connection of Kai to Ty. No disrespect to Ty. He's a goal getter. He's going to go get it. He's more than capable. He's a he is a shooter in basketball. Just knows a 3-point shooter. Doesn't matter where he's at. Keep shooting. If he's out of it, just keep shooting. You'll find that rhythm. Same thing like a field goal kicker. They lose their rhythm. Hey, just keep kicking. Give him a chance. You'll find that rhythm. That's Ty, right? He just finds the back of the net. But without Ty and what he's able to do, leading the league in successful crosses, free kicks, 5th in the league in long passes at 230, a 73% pass completion percentage. He to me is the catalyst, right? What the heartbeat for this union, um, this union squad, this union club. And I think his energy, is his grit. It's all Philadelphia, right? It's what you think of when you think of Philadelphia sports, right? That guy was um, Martinez, and he's gone now. And Kai, even his temper, right? He's got a big temper. He'll get in the ref's face. He has tempered that a lot. I think he's been a great um, role model for Westfield this season, the same way that Glesnes has been for Marcana. Steve Mack going live tonight. Yeah, not for the final word, but he will be on doing the um, Birds Blast with Al filling in for Kyle, and then yeah, so he'll be on doing something tonight. Ricky, Mickey, hey, Brooks, how are you? Nice little conversation. I love that. Joe Carnell, Coach of the Year. Absolutely, absolutely, the Coach of the Year. What he has brought to this Union team, and yes, he did the same thing as St. Louis, but that St. Louis team in, I think it was 2021, didn't have the caliber of player that the Union have. And that's what I think we'll talk about these final 5 matches and how they set up for the Union to go get this supporter shield. I think the Union go get that supporter shield and have home field advantage throughout. They got over the hump against Cincinnati. I got the schedule right here. That's why I'm pointing and doing and looking over here. They got over the hump at Cincinnati by beating that elite team. They beat them at home in the beginning of the season, but we wanted to see them beat a team now at this point of the season that's elite. You know, you can beat from in the standings now, seeds, 4 through down. Could you beat those top dogs? And he has gotten them ready all season. He hasn't let them worry about where they're at in U.S. Open Cup standings, where they're at in the supporter shit. It's always just been the next team. We're just focused on that. In his press conferences, some of the questions that he shuts down to the media about, oh, this player this and this player that, who you're getting ready to face. What do you think? Hey, I don't worry about those other players. And we all know there's a game plan for the other team and everything like that each week. But he is adamant. I am here to discuss our guys, our success, and what we can just do to get to next game. I'm not worried about 3 games from now. He is not worried about September, what is it, 16th at Nashville for the US Open Cup semis. He'll worry about that then after September 13th against Vancouver. So yeah, he's hands down Coach of the Year. But with that said, Joe, in this city, well, they're in Chester, but you know what I mean. In Philadelphia, you go get Coach of the Year, you know what you got to go do now. You got to go back that up with, you got to go win the East. And then after you go win the East, you got to go win the Cup. This has got to be the year. Glesnes isn't getting any younger. You're not going to get, I mentioned Bedoya playing out of position a few times at center back, at right back. He's subbed in who knows how many different positions this season. I isn't going to have another season like this. He might have instances where, yeah, he's really great in one aspect of the of playing left back. But you're not going to get this connection between Kai and Ty for many years. We don't even know if Ty's going to be on the team next year. Free agent. At a contract. Are they going to give him a contract? Who knows? Force them to by going out and winning. So, yes, coach of the year, but you got to back it up. Paul Spencer, hey, what's up, buddy? Don't watch soccer, but what's up? Hey, well, you got to get on. You got to get on this Philadelphia Union train here. They're first in the league, first in MLS, first in the Supporter Shield, which is whoever has the most points. Kind of like in hockey, it's the dang. I don't watch hockey, so I know that whoever has the most points, that team gets something, Commissioner's Cup or something like that. I don't know, but they call it the Supporter Shield. Pretty cool trophy. You got home field all throughout, so they're in contention for that. They got the most points in the league right now. Um, could be a good time here. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but you got the Eagles coming off of Super Bowl, Phillies doing what they're doing, getting ready to head into the playoffs, and Union here, five matches left in the regular season, and they're sitting in first after what they were third to last, fourth to last team in all of the league last year. So it's been a hell of a ride. Been a hell of a ride for them. So thank you for tuning in. But yeah, no, that's what I had on Kai and what I think he means to this team and where he stands um league league wide with you know free kicks, these successful crosses, long passes. He's been incredible. What starting lineup now does Carnell put up against Vancouver? Does he take into account that Danley went full 90 in World Cup qualifiers, that Ty and Westfield, Gavin's not going to get any run unless game script dictates that. But Frankie's going to have to play some sort of role because, like I mentioned, Mercado, who was very disappointing against Cincinnati, picked up those two dumbass yellow cards, which resulted in the red. He got tossed. So he's missing this game, and I believe he's missing the September 20th home game at 2:30 against New England. So in a position where they already are hurting, it sucks. You see so much growth from him all throughout the season, and then he does stuff like that, and it reminds you of his lack of experience, his lack of run, and just where he needs to find growth and maturity at that point. But I fully expect him to be a key contributor and force in their road to the Supporters Shield in first place and in the playoffs. So, what sort of lineup does Carnell put out? Who fills that role? Is Harriel put over there in his place at center back, and then you start Frankie, and then coming off the bench you have Bedoya, Vasiliev is back, and Bizo. You got guys who can fill in those roles, right? Which is good. Which is good. Milanilowski, I think he has been the biggest Union acquisition since this season, I would say. You have the departure of Gazdag, the departure of McGlynn, the departure of Elliott, um, the departure of Carranza last season, Martinez. those guys didn't get the job done. And so you have Vasilev who comes in, Lukic, Damiani, who was able to find the back of the net and got that goal against Cincinnati, but it was Milanowski's play and creativeness and hell of an assist that made it happen. And he has been huge for the Union since joining them earlier on this summer in his short time here. So 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 starts, and 1 sub appearance in the MLS play, 1 goal in U.S. Open Cup play. Creativity, his IQ. It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. I think he and Quinn, that's why I got Quinny up over here, I think are going to be the reason that they go into Vancouver and show why they didn't need to make the signing of Thomas Mueller, right? Who wanted to come here and play here, and Tanner didn't want to pay that price. I think those 2 guys are going to be the reason, to include, obviously, Kai's going to show up. Excuse me. Glesnes is going to show up. You want to talk about people leading the league and stuff? I believe he's like tied for 3rd in yellow cards in the league. Joe, who would you say the Union MVP? Who is the Union MVP? Oh, I think the easy answer is Ty, right? 16 goals. I think he's like six in the league in goals right now, 16. But personally, I don't think he gets to those numbers without Kai Wagner, right? So to me, it's Kai. Kai is the Union MVP, and I'll be honest, you can put Rick up there too. 6 clean sheets, what he's been able to do to come in and fill Andre Blake's shoes, who's been injured again. So I think those 2 guys right there for sure are the tops of the list for me. Ricky, Steve, what time are you getting off live? Here, maybe about 10, 15 minutes, and then you'll have the Fighting's final, and then not long after that, Birds Blast. Union win 3-1 in Vancouver. I like that. I have a 2-1 victory, Union over Vancouver. I think, like I said, I think Oloski and Quinn score. I think they go up 2-0, and Vancouver makes it interesting late, but they're not able to do anything other than that. So, yeah, that's what I got, folks. Here we got the score at the bottom. Let's go around the league. Check out the matches for this week. Big week. It's a big week. And what do we got? The 13th. All right, so we got Atlanta hosting Columbus. I'm going to go with Columbus sitting in 7th. They've really dropped. No surprise there. Gazdag, who won that trade? Union, tell you that much. No, Columbus really fighting. I get that higher seed. I cannot see Atlanta beating them. Give me Columbus. Then we have Montreal and St. Louis. Give me St. Louis getting the win. Charlotte and Miami. Charlotte and Miami. Suarez getting the 3-game suspension for spitting on the Seattle Sounders coach, equipment guy, whoever it was. I forget who he was exactly. I don't think it's going to affect them. I think they go out there and get the job done away at Charlotte. Joe's got Columbus with the win. All right, there we go. Next up, Orlando, DC, in the nation's capital. Give me Orlando. Just DC is so bad, right? DC is so bad. Nashville and Cincinnati. Nashville's been struggling a little bit. Cincinnati definitely looking to keep pace with Philadelphia in the Supporters Shield. So give me Cincinnati give me a draw in this game. Give me a draw in this one. All right, we're gonna pick the pace up because it looks like the Phillies game just ended. So we're gonna pick up the pace here. So you guys can focus on the Fightins final. Joe's got Nashville and Orlando. Next up, we got New England and Toronto. Give me New England in that one. Chicago, NYCFC. NYCFC, unfortunately. I'm going to take them. The Battle of Texas at Toyota Stadium. FC Dallas versus Austin. Give me Austin. Joe's got Colorado. Joe's got Colorado beating Houston. Let's go there. Colorado, Houston. I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to go Houston. Then we have Seattle and LA. Give me Seattle, or LA Galaxy. Give me Seattle. The Quakes, San Jose versus LAFC. Going to go LAFC. I'm also going to go with Dallas. Austin in the Battle of Texas over there. Real Salt Lake versus Sporting KC. Give me a draw here. Give me a 1-1 draw. And then we have the Red Bulls versus Portland, 10:30. Give me Portland. I'm going Portland here. Minnesota, San Diego. Give me Minnesota. Need Minnesota for a big win. Joe's got Chicago. Joe's got New England. Joe's got Seattle with me. There we go. Seattle, great team this year, dude. Hell of a team this year. And LAFC. Joe going Red Bulls. Red Bulls tie. There we go. There's your draw. And then Tuesday, you got a regular season match between Miami and Seattle, and then you got the U.S. Open Cup, and you got Philly and Nashville. Tough one. Didn't really talk about this one much. We're going to really talk about that next Thursday. We'll be able to recap that one and discuss and recap Vancouver and then discuss the New England match. So a lot of good things for next week. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Joe, Ricky, Paul, and who was that? Mickey. And the other guy, I couldn't pronounce his name. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's going to do it for me. Make sure Phillies beat Nashville 3-2 in U.S. Open Cup to advance the finals. I like that. I like that prediction, Joe. So, yeah, guys. So if you didn't get it before, here is the schedule for the rest of the week. So make sure you guys are tuning in. That's going to do it for me. Make sure you guys are tuning into those other shows and have a good night. Dope.